Test, 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 test. Mic's on. Now your mic is on. Speaking the mic.
Test, test.
Cool, you're good.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so now we have Coastward. He's going to play Mirror's Edge any percent. Estimated time is 50 minutes. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
All right, so I'm Coastward. I run Mirror's Edge. I'm not that great at it, but I think I'd like to say I'm decent at it.
It's okay. Listen, games finished adequately.
Yes.
That's all we ask. Okay, so with that said, we are on time. Interesting. So that's kind of rare for a speedrun event, but whenever you are ready, we can
Okay, I'll
begin.
catch you down.
Okay, cool.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is Mirror's Edge. It's going to be pretty difficult for me to talk and play at the same time because it requires a lot of my focus. So I'm going to try to explain as much as I can while I play. This speedrun mainly focuses on one main glitch being called the kick glitch. When you're in this game, when you're doing a wall run, you can kick off the wall, and the game has a bit of code so that on that last frame of the kick, it puts an invisible floor underneath you to prevent you from like falling through the ground and stuff. So we manipulate the controls of the mouse to jump. I messed that up. We manipulate the controls of the mouse in order for us to jump with the scroll wheel, which lets us jump on multiple frames, which allows us to jump on that very last frame, and we're able to execute a kick glitch. So I'm going to try this again. There's some other things that I'm going to be doing that will look pretty quick. It's really minute stuff that just speeds up the process of running. Wow, I messed that up too. Okay, so right there what I did was a kick glitch. It's basically a double jump in the air. Allows for a lot of skips in the game. Lets us progress through the game where we normally wouldn't be. Jumping gaps that we shouldn't be jumping. Let me try to get this one last time. If I don't get this, I'll just go the easy way. There we go. Alright. So normally we shouldn't be able to get that jump, but with the kick glitch we can. Wow, I keep dying. This is an abnormal rate of dying. Let me try this again. Kick glitching is very hard because the way they end up depends on the angle you're jumping at the wall, the timing you're leaving the wall, and what speed you have while you're jumping at the wall. So some small tricks that I'm doing right now, you're going to see me doing a lot of side steps. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. You're going to see me doing a lot of side steps. In this game, when you do side steps, they pretty much make you run at full speed. So when we aim the camera in the direction we sidestep, we'll be running at full speed. Another trick I did while I was falling through that vent was a little way to prevent the animation from falling to cancel itself by kicking right before we land. Also, I forgot to mention that this is the prologue chapter, which is pretty much the entry level of the game. Nothing really significant. I'm also not going to explain anything about the story really because it's also pretty insignificant. Something I did right there was a wall boost. While you're wall running in the game, we can... Please stop showing up. We can use the mouse wheel while we're aiming into the wall to give us a little boost. I missed that. I was supposed to jump on that rail there. We can do a quick little skip right here if we have the speed. There we go. Alright, so that's the end of the prologue. Right here I'm going to stop myself a little bit because if we run too fast to this chopper, we'll actually end up dying because we're going to be too quick for it. So that's the end of the prologue. Coming up is Chapter 1 where most of the run starts. A lot of the main skips are going to be shown here. Right off the bat we're going to have a pretty cool kick glitch. So we're going to line up ourselves here with this wall, and we're going to jump on this box to jump over this fence. A lot of the kick glitches we do in this game are just little time savers that really add up. We're also going to jump over this fence. Messed it up. We're going to do a little backup. Do another kick glitch right here. Again, that's an example of making sure you're jumping at the wall at the right time and leaving the wall at the same time as well. And a lot of the deaths in the game are pretty punishing, so you want to make sure that if you're going to die, you want to make sure that you're dying at the right spot. So let me try this again.
Okay,
There we go. Wow, I didn't make that jump.
Pope's place. I guess that's where you're headed, but be careful. Don't tell him what's going on there.
There we go. Landing on that flower bed prevents us from rolling and stuff, so it's pretty good to land on that. What I did there on the door, by the way, was cancel a kicking animation. It makes us going through doors faster. Please stop showing up. Right here is what I like to call an interact glitch. Basically, with our mouse wheel, we have a jump button, but we also have an interact button. So while we're doing anything like sliding or doing a sidestep, we can press the interact button and cancel the animation for actually pressing a button. It's pretty useful, saves a lot of time. Please stop showing up tutorials. Please. Okay, there we go. Right here, we can skip these guards coming out of the elevator by doing a wall boost on the wall. But the guards can be pretty RNG, so you can die here. So you really got to be lucky and quick. Try this again. And I got blasted. I'm also playing on easy mode, which makes it harder for us to die. But these guards can still pump a lot of bullets into you. That was good. There. Coming up is a pretty major skip. The first one that we'd run into. I'm going to attempt doing it. If I don't get it on my first try, I'll just skip it. Come up here, set up a kick glitch, and I got it. Alright, let me see if I can get this. I didn't get that correctly. So what we're doing there is we're jumping back into the zone that we previously were in, but when we jump back into it, it's already loaded the next part of the chapter. So what we can do is set up a pretty specific kick glitch and jump into the later part of the level where we shouldn't be. It skips having to go through all of this and climb through the vents. It saves a lot of time. Here's another example of canceling the falling animation. You can also bunny hop in this game. When you jump in this game, you get a little bit of speed. So if you're aiming in one straight direction and you continuously jump, you're actually able to move faster. So this part of the chapter is mainly just movement optimization. I'm going to be doing a lot of wall boosts and kick glitches. That's pretty much the main point of this game, making sure that you're always moving. So, a lot of cool things you can do at home by yourself. I'm going to do a kick glitch right here to avoid landing on that landing pad. If I jump too far, I might actually have to come back and reload the game because there's a door that's going to be showing up that brings us to the next point of the chapter. But if I jump too far, it's not going to load, which would be bad. So I'm going to do a kick glitch here to skip this fence, but I missed it. Luckily, I hit the building, so I'm just going to spawn right here anyway. So I'm just going to skip over here. And because I died, the door is going to load anyway, so... Okay, so we have a pretty cool clip coming here called the elevator clip. If I can get it right, I'll explain it. If not, I'll explain it anyways. So we're going to jump over those guards, activate the elevator, and I didn't get it. So basically what we're doing here is jumping into the corner of the elevator and using the interactive glitch to kind of push ourselves to the top of the elevator. It skips having to wait for the elevator to open up and continue, so it's pretty useful. So now the rest of this chapter is, again, more movement optimization. Most of the skips in this chapter are kind of messed up, so I'm just going to continue. We can skip going to that door by kind of just falling down here and kick glitching off of this wall right here and just falling down. These pedestrians also aren't supposed to be here right now because we didn't go through that door to despawn them. So this chopper is just kind of shooting at pedestrians right now. Also, while I'm jumping, you see me doing coil jumps like that. When you do coil jumps, it puts you a little bit farther. So you're going to mainly want to do that a lot, but if you don't time the coils right, you kind of stagger when you land on a jump. So it's good to mix them up with side steps. Here we can do a little bit of wall boosts. Messing up.
Should be an exit off the rail overpass in the plaza ahead. Creek heads to the other
Wall
side.
glitch off that. So this is the end of chapter 1. We're gonna have one main, or not main, but one last kick glitch coming up that kind of skips having to go through a train line and out chase a train and go on a zip line. You basically come over here on this wall and kick glitch over this huge gap. And obviously, we're not supposed to do that. And that's the end of Chapter 1. So Chapter 2 coming up is a pretty interesting chapter. There's a lot of cool skips that can be done, like right here. Instead of going on that little pipe, I might die here. I died. Instead of going through climbing up a pipe and having to climb around a vent, we can just jump on this trash can and just jump over the fence. Now this is the canal section. There's a really cool skip here that lets you skip a lot of this level, but it requires very precise kick glitches that are out of bounds. So if you mess it up, you're basically restarting the chapter again. So I'm not going to be doing it. The canals is mainly just wall boosting off these walls. Also, I forgot to mention, when you vault over objects like how I just did right there, if you jump on the very last frame of the vault, you get to keep the speed from the vault itself. So it's pretty useful to jump after you vault something. Coming up is another example of the interact glitch. By doing a sidestep, we can just turn on that little wheel. It's good to skip wheels because the animations for the wheel turning is extremely long and useless. So coming up right now is the first out of bounds skip for Chapter 2. I think it's actually the only one. So we're going to jump on this garage door and jump over this fence, which we weren't supposed to do. And we're going to run around this perimeter. Try to do a quick little bunny hop right here. And then we're going to align ourselves up properly with this little box. And we're going to do a specific jump, turn around, and just walk backwards until we fall into the checkpoint. I kind of walked back a bit too far, so I'm going to have to do that again. And not hit new game. You also have to be careful when you load out and load back in to not hit new game.
They got you surrounded, Face. Get yourself into the storm drain.
Accidentally hit that pole. There we go. If you're too slow, these cops show up, but they're not much of an issue. There we go. I think I got you here. There we go. So we're going to hit that checkpoint, and we're going to load out and load back in. And when we load in, it's going to put us farther into the level. So now we're in the storm drains. And there's a little trick we can do right here. By running on these walls, we can come up to this, use that interact glitch, avoids having to go through that ladder and climb on those walls. The game's also going to get really loud at this point because a lot of big moving objects are going to be making noise. So be careful, headphone users. Okay, we can skip having to go around by while running on that thing. And there's going to be a lot of play with these railings right here. We're going to be jumping on them and using them to our advantage. Hopefully you have enough speed here to skip this ladder. I did, thankfully. We're going to jump on this rail to get up on here. And jump this gap. And we're also going to jump on this rail right here to avoid the springboard jump. The springboard jumps in the game are very slow because it puts you really high into the air. And the jump is just really slow, so it's best to avoid them. But I'm going to be doing one right here to get up on this ledge faster. And then I'm going to kick glitch over here and align myself up with this wall. The game wants us to take these zip lines down, but we can just set up a kick glitch to just jump right into the door and to the button. Right here's a little cool jump sequence we can do to avoid having to climb up these whatever you call them, platforms, I guess. I might die here, so let me try to get this right. And I got it. Alright, cool. That's a little awkward wall just because of the slope that you're sliding down on. Alright, so this is the storm drains exit. There's a really cool skip here that you can do, but if you mess it up, you're going to be losing a lot of time. But I'm going to do it anyway because I think I'm good enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to jump on this platform, go the game the way it intended us to. And instead of climbing up this pipe, we're going to actually just turn around, jump on this railing, and just skip half of the storm drains exit. But we're going to do it again. And that's the end of the storm drains exit. We can just wall run here, do a boost, and hit this button. So what the game wanted us to do here actually was kind of climb all of these little platforms and turn off the waterfall so that we can jump past it by using that little valve right there. But we really don't have to do that because we can just jump through everything. Fall down on here. The next section coming up, we're going to be chasing that little guy right there. His name is Jackknife. Really not important for me to explain, so he's basically the main antagonist. That's really all you need to know. We're going to skip these cops because they're not threatening at all. And I missed that jump over this fence. And coming up, we have another elevator clip. This one's much easier to land.
Look, Jackknife may know something
And
about
I'm going to time
both
myself really
murders.
here
Don't let
because
him wind you up,
we can
okay?
actually skip
He's a
having
pretty
Jackknife
easy
load
runner.
in.
God knows who he's working for now.
And I didn't get it, but I hit the checkpoint, which is still good. So if I actually got the level to load in before I fell, what would happen would be that Jackknife here would just spawn in T-pose and he wouldn't move, but we'd still have to chase his audio cues. So it's really interesting to see. There's also a really weird thing that happens where if you move too fast in this section, Jackknife just starts to teleport in front of you because the game doesn't expect you to move that fast. So keep an eye out for him teleporting around. We're going to jump up here to set up a kick glitch to jump over this fence. I did not want to grab that. I'm messing all this up. Here's a nice little jump you can do. You can jump on this pipe right here if you land it and then do a wall run. Very little small things that make the run faster. Utilizing the environment just to make quick little shortcuts. We can do a kick glitch right here to jump this fence, if I get it. To skip having to go around and catch up to Jackknife. Just land over there. Now because I'm being timed in real time, I'm not going to quit out here. Usually I'd quit out there because the game is recorded in real time, and quitting out on that checkpoint and loading back in puts you a little bit farther. So Faith says we lost him here because she's stupid, but we can just stay in the elevator and just walk out and we'll be put in. And here's one last kick glitch we got to hit. I didn't hit it because it's pretty much a frame perfect jump. We got to hit it at a certain angle and kind of kick immediately once we hit the wall. Kind of like that. So we skipped this whole section. The game wanted us to jump on a bunch of scaffoldings and climb some pipes, but we don't have to do that at all. We also run by the dead Jackknife. He's not actually dead, by the way. So this is chapter 3. This chapter is the bane of my existence. There's a lot of skips here that I'm really bad at, so hopefully I pulled them off today. The first one will be a little clip that we can do on I guess I call it a lamp. I'll explain it once I do it. Right here we can jump on this little device and climb up the wall. And right here we can actually walk on air and skip that fence. Oh, I almost died there. Up here's a little neat trick you can do as well. You can do a little wall run and kind of skip that section, which leads into a nice kick glitch setup right here. So this is the out of bounds skip that we can do. We do a specific jump right here and align ourselves to grab that lamp right there. It's kind of difficult to pull off. You need to time your jumps properly right here. Alright, I'm going to shut up for a second. There we go. So we can just clip out of bounds and then run into a checkpoint right here by wall boosting off of a wall. And loading back in, we're going to be put into an office, and I'm going to have to grab a gun here. There we go. I don't know why I stopped there. The next few sections coming up is, again, more movement optimization. Nothing too special. With the gun, we can shoot open doors. That's why we take the gun there. I'm going to kick glitch off of that wall. Right now, we're just avoiding these guards. That guy can kick us, so we got to be careful. There's a springboard jump coming up right here. We're going to skip it by kick glitching off of this wall right here. Nice. We can wall boost off of that AC unit right there, but I didn't set up a jump properly. Right here is a broken elevator. The game wants us to click the button and wait for the door to open, but we just spam the interaction button just to make it open faster. And we can skip the pipe by basically falling immediately once we touch it and using that kick maneuver. So this is 3C. This is the bane of my existence. This chapter section has a skip that I'm really inconsistent at, so I'm going to skip it. It basically avoids having the game load in some cops, but it's nothing too important. I'm going to kick glitch off that little wall right there to come up here. And we're going to run up this wall and grab this pipe. I'm going to avoid this springboard again by timing our jump. There we go. So yeah, this chopper here is going to bring down some cops to shoot us. If I did a skip, it would make the chopper not spawn them because it wouldn't know where we are. So yeah, I'm gonna kick this door open right here. And we have the last elevator of this chapter. So here I'm gonna actually quit out and load back in once we hit the checkpoint, because it's actually faster to do it instead of waiting for the elevator to open up. Because when the screen turns white when you load in from a checkpoint, you can just start holding forward and you'd be running at full speed. So right here we're going to do a little quick skip by jumping over an invisible wall. We're going to climb up here, jump on that AC unit, and jump over that invisible wall so that we can get a nice kick glitch that'll allow us to skip most of this last section. We're going to jump off that, land over here, and that's pretty much the end of Chapter 3. There's another quick skip you can do right here. Instead of running backwards, you can just turn around and grab this thing right here. So we're going to jump on this crane. This chopper can mess you up sometimes because if it shoots you, it might put you off balance and just shove you off the crane. Here's a quick little trick you can do. If you turn around and hold shift and back at the same time, you can just slide off of that. The game would put you in a landing animation right there, which is super slow, so we just do a little slide.
Hey, can you get a message to
So that was the end of the Chapter 3. Chapter 4 coming up is one of the slowest, or not slowest, one of the fastest chapters in the game, because we do a skip that essentially skips half of the chapter. Let me try to do it on my first try. So we're going to basically go the way that we're supposed to be going. We're going to climb up here. We're going to jump over a fence. The game would want us to go inside of that building with the helicopter right there, but we're going to skip that entirely. What we're actually going to do is we're going to climb this wall right up here. And I didn't get the jump, but we're going to basically jump over this fence. There we go. And now I got to line myself properly here. And we're going to go through this building. I'm going to pause at certain times. And this is going to load in the later half of the level. And because it does that, we actually land basically in the level. And it's right on top of a checkpoint. So we die basically on top of a checkpoint. And it puts us near the end of the level. That cop is extremely close. You should not be that close to me, sir. I'm going to avoid not being shot at. You can actually wall boost on that blue wall to my right to basically not have to wait for the train to show up. But the wall boosts are kind of tough to pull off. So we're going to climb up here, go down this vent. Right now we're aiming to find a button to open a door right now. I messed up a little bit right there. We're going to open this door. And now we're going to be playing a waiting game with these trains because I don't know when exactly they started. So I'm going to be relying on audio cues.
Losing your signal.
Okay, it's coming right now. These cops can die by the train. They decided not to. Okay. they still shot me from there. That's interesting. So we're going to turn over here. And wall boost off this wall. Missed my jump right there. That's unfortunate, but we can just do this. A lot of backup strats in this game, just because of how the game's laid out in terms of the environment. So coming up is my favorite part of the game. We're gonna land on this train, and the game's intention here is there's gonna be a bunch of signs coming at us that it wants us to maneuver out of the way. If we hit them, we die. We can only take 4 hits because we're on easy mode. So the game wants us to jump over pipes and kind of dodge those signs right there. But because of how they're randomly generated and how infrequent they spawn, what I can actually just do is I can just lay back and relax for a little bit. I'm going to retweet the stream real quick. If I get hit too much here, I'll probably, okay, I'm going to actually have to get up. And wow, I luckily lived. Nope. Okay, I died. I got too cocky. With the random generation of the signs right there, you can literally just lie back. The reason why I'm lying back on the right side of the train is because there's going to be a sign coming at us when the trains start to stop. And that sign right there is actually the indicator for where the exit door will be. So it's pretty convenient for us. It also stops all of our momentum for some reason. So I'm not going to lie down. Watch it not spawn anything on this side. Of course it's not. Okay, now it's all starting to come at me. Jesus Christ. I think we're in the clear though. Alright, we're good. We're not dying this time. So yeah, the trains are going to stop. There's going to be a red neon sign right here. We're just going to go right in front of it. It'll stop us. We're going to go right into this door. If I can open it. There we go.
Nice work, kiddo.
So that's the end of Chapter 4. It would have been shorter if I didn't die, but it's okay. So Chapter 5 is probably the hardest chapter in this game for me. It starts immediately off with the skip right here. We're going to do a kick glitch onto an invisible wall right there, but you have to time the jump perfectly. I think I got it right there. Yeah, there we go. So when we're on this invisible wall, we can't actually jump onto the floor, so we have to kick glitch off of this wall so that we can land and not die. And just pass by those cops. This chapter also has one of the more prolific skips in this game, called the Newloff skip. When you see it, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. There's also another elevator clip in this chapter. And it's coming up after this door. The reason we take it is because obviously it's faster, but oh, you weren't supposed to do that. What happened there was I went too fast. Essentially, the game didn't know where I was, and it failed to load the door, so now I'm going to have to do all this again. That was unfortunate. I'm actually just going to do a... Actually, no. This is probably a better option. There's a backup strat where you can just do a death abuse by jumping on the floor on the other side. That should be it. There we go. So yeah, that door failed to load because we went too fast and we basically skipped the part where the door was supposed to load. The game has a habit of doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through here normally. This is usually where it messes up. So hopefully the door will be here this time. Alright, there it is. So we're going to do an elevator clip right here. I messed up. I can do it again real quick. Oh, I didn't get it. So what would happen would be I'd clip through the elevator, and with this elevator door, it kind of stops us because it loads the level right here once we hit that checkpoint. So when we exit, I'm not going to be able to move for like half of a second. Right here. Just to make sure that the game loads all of its assets in. So I'm going to jump on this little plank of wood right here. And I'm going to do a quick little kick glitch. Kind of skip having to go through a little section on the right side. I'm going to fall down here. I'm going to do another kick glitch so that I can just get on that wall and start wall running on it. Or wall climbing, I should say. I messed it up, but that's okay. What we can do is just come over here. Oh, what happened there? That was weird. So now the cops are going to be here. The kick glitch that I did earlier avoids the cops from spawning. But now maybe I can actually climb up this wall. Please don't kill me. So I'm going to go through this door. There's going to be an elevator shaft in here that we can get through quickly by climbing up it. And instead of having to use the pipes, there are these little ledges that we can grab onto. Much quicker. So this section of the chapter is pretty uneventful. It's mainly just doing a lot of more movement optimization, a few kick glitches here and there, but it's mainly wall boosts. We can kick glitch onto this pipe right here, or not pipe, this vent from that building, but it's kind of hard to pull off. And I jumped too early right there. I kind of hit a little rail. Let me do this again. There we go. So right here, some cops are going to spawn. I'm going to want them... Yeah, there we go. That was a great spawn. We're going to want them to not get in the way of this springboard. That's the only time I really want a good springboard, is because it avoids having to run around the cops and climb up the building. On our right is a person we're supposed to be chasing. Right here, you can see her. Oh, I spoiled the game for you guys. I'm sorry. We're going to do a springboard here and wall run on this wall. I missed the wall run. We can wall run on that wall and do a wall boost to jump over the second fence. Makes things quicker. And we're going to run into this elevator. So this elevator is going to take us to the mall. The mall essentially is a little playground for us to run around in. We get lured into a trap where cops are going to shoot at us, and we have to use an elevator and a bunch of other stairs and stuff to escape the mall. But we're going to be using the new loft skip to completely skip the mall. It's a frame perfect trick. It's basically a clip where we go through the ceiling of the mall, or not the ceiling, one of the ceilings of the mall. And I did that the wrong way. Let me try that again. There we go. Where we clip through the mall's floor, and it puts us near the end of the mall's exit. I'm gonna try to do it on my first try. Hopefully I get it. So we're gonna line ourselves up right here. And I got on my first try. Cool. So that's the new loft skip. It basically puts us at the very end of this mall section. What the game wanted us to do was run away from these cops shooting at us, jump through a bunch of hoops and stuff. But that skip is really useful. It saves a lot of time. So I'm gonna run on this wall and jump on that door frame. A lot of objects in this game are like pixel thin, and for some reason we can just jump on them. I was supposed to aim into that direction. That's okay. Here we go. Wow. I'll just do this. This game requires a lot of quick thinking as well. It's a very adaptive game. So right here, we have this fan that we got to jump through, but we got to wait for this button to stop it. So we got to wait. jump through it right now. We don't have to fully wait for the fan to stop. So this is the last section of the mall. We can just climb up here, break open this glass door. Please break. Here we go. And that's basically the end of the mall. We just have a bit more platforming with some stairs, and that's the end of it. We can skip a flight of stairs by doing a little jump right here. And this last door will be the end of Chapter 5. So coming up is Chapter 6. This is also a really cool chapter because it has a skip that also skips half of the level. It's a little cooler because the graphics for the game kind of trip out. And it's really early on in the chapter. So what I'm going to do is kick glitch onto this little thing. I'm going to set up a safety net for me just in case I mess up the glitch. So what I'm going to do is jump on this little bar right here because it sets up a checkpoint for us. I messed it up. That's why we use a safety net. So what I'm trying to do is jump on an invisible wall and land on it. I didn't get it there again. I'm trying to jump on that very end of the rail. There we go. So we're out of bounds right now, but we're not out of bounds enough, so we're going to go more out of bounds. So we're going to jump through this door, and we're going to jump on more invisible walls, and on more invisible walls. And if I did this correctly, the level is just going to load in, and we're basically halfway through the level now. What the game wanted us to do was go inside of the first section of this factory and jump through a bunch of cops that are guarding it. We also can activate buttons through the walls, by the way. I forgot to mention that. But the level wanted us to avoid a bunch of cops and open up a bunch of doors, but we don't need to do that. Here's also a quick little skip we can do. Instead of having to run through a bunch of pipes, we can align ourselves properly by landing on a railing right here. It's pretty hard to set up. This might not be the best angle for me. Yeah.
Should be somewhere below you.
There we go. And then we can use the kick to make sure we don't die. And we'll activate another button through the wall. And that's pretty much the end of Chapter 6. Everything else is mainly just running away from cops and a lot of wall boosts. So thankfully a lot of the skips on this chapter are really early on. So right now we're going to be heading into a training facility for the cops. About 5 or 6 cops will chase you here. And if we're not fast enough, they can tase us, which is pretty much the worst case scenario because tasing you kind of stops all of your movement. So if you're mid-jump, if you get tased, you'll just lose all of your momentum. So what we're going to do is skip the entire training grounds by doing this specific jump right here. And it'll take us right to the end of it. Also need to mention that the game can crash here randomly in this elevator. The game was going to load in assets here, including lighting, so the sun's going to be there. Thankfully, we hit a checkpoint there. That's when the game would crash. The game, I think, usually crashes when it's trying to load in its lighting. At least that's what I think. I'm going to jump out of here, make our way onto that little ramp. A quick little shortcut right here.
There's some train tracks up ahead of you.
We're going to kick glitch onto this building, and we're going to grab this zip line. And that's going to be the end of Chapter 6. We're going to be taken to a train that's coming, and it's going to play a little animation. Or not an animation, but a cutscene. So coming up is Chapter 7. It's called The Boat. It's the fastest chapter in the game because we don't get on the boat at all, ironically. We're going to be doing a cool out-of-bounds trick. So let me try to do this on my first try. We're going to do a kick glitch chain right here. I didn't get the speed, so I'm not going to actually just do it normally. We're going to get on top of here, which we're obviously not supposed to be. And I'm going to fall down here. I'm going to kick glitch on this wall to jump over the road because it has no collision. And we're going to be in an area where we really shouldn't be. We're running to basically the end of the level where there's a checkpoint awaiting for us. It's the last checkpoint in the game. And we're going to run up this wall. There's a really specific timing to this so that you can get over this wall right here. I'm just going to run to the other side because it's much easier on the other side for some reason. So what we're doing once we jump over this little fence is we're going to be falling into another checkpoint, which will load the end of the level. So I'm going to jump into the sign, load the level, and boom, we're at the very end of this chapter. We're going to be running towards this mystery woman, man, and we're going to be doing a sequence of punches, 1 crouching punch into 2 standing punches, and then we're going to disarm her. Depending on the difficulty of what you play the game on, the amount of punches you need to hit her to take her out will vary. We're on easy mode, so it only takes 5 punches. So this is chapter 8. This is my favorite chapter of the game because there's a really cool skip here that I can do. There's also a section of the level that is also one of my worst enemies. So every section of this chapter has a skip. 8A, this is what this section is. There's a cool kick glitch that lets us skip a part of this section. That cop can magically teleport for some reason, so if we're not fast enough, he'll jump back on that little thing. The game also auto-locks on enemies for some reason if you're too close to them. So you want to make sure that you don't get too close to any cops because it's very hard to unlock yourself. So we're going to come over here. We're going to do a quick kick glitch right onto here. Avoid that little platform right there. We're supposed to climb up a building and jump on that platform, but the kick glitch kind of skips that. So coming up is 8B. There's 2 specific kick glitches here that are very hard to pull off because one of them is a pole kick glitch. You can kick glitch off of poles, but the problem with that is that they are very hard to wall run on because there's a specific timing on them. So I'm going to jump off of this building right here and do a kick glitch and land on this building. Hopefully I get this on my first try. And I did. Nice. So we avoid skipping, or we avoid a bunch of cops loading in. Some cops, by the way, we can skip those pipes by doing a quick little maneuver with our jumps. We skip a lot of cops coming in and shooting us by doing that kick glitch, so it's pretty useful. We're going to come to this elevator now, which is going to bring us to the game's 8C, which is the Atrium. The Atrium is pretty much the more notable levels of this game. We're going to be scaling up a construction site and jump on a bunch of scaffoldings and walls and ramps. The first major skip we can do in the Atrium is come up right here on this little scaffolding and just wall run on this wall. It skips having to go around a little blocking section. I don't know what I should really call it. We can also come around on this side and set up a nice little jump right here. And then we're going to do a wall run right here. And then here we can actually just sidestep onto this one. And coming up is a skip called the Ventrium. The game wants us to go and crawl through a vent to get into a room where we pick up a sniper rifle. But we actually don't have to go into that vent. We can just skip doing that by going out of bounds by doing this. I missed the jump, unfortunately, but I'll try that again. Oh, almost got it. 3 times the charm. Oh, almost. This is really hard to do because you have to wall run on this wall in a really weird window. At this point, it wouldn't be really beneficiary for me to continue doing this, but I really want to show this off. So we're going to climb up here, and we're not supposed to be up here. We're basically climbing to the very top of the Atrium, which is out of bounds. And we're going to align ourselves properly so that we can jump into a specific checkpoint. And we're going to just jump right into it. And when we exit and load back in, we're going to be in the sniper room.
See the rifle? Get to it, get that
But we're
gun
not done
loaded.
yet. I'm actually going to try to set up a little trick.
I'm gonna patch
So
you
I'm
in
going to have to
with
kill
GPS
myself in
cam
this
on
room.
top,
And we can do it by
Connor's
grabbing
convoy.
this pipe and
What's
just
your status?
falling down.
Over?
When we die in this room, the entire room resets,
Get to it, get
including
that
a truck that
convoy
we're
in sight.
supposed to shoot.
Find a way of slowing it
Now the
down.
truck is hiding behind this building right here, and luckily for us this building has no collision, so we can just shoot through the building
Connor's convoy.
if I
What's your
get lucky.
status? Over?
I didn't hit it. The truck is hiding right here, and because it has no collision, we can just shoot the truck while it's waiting for us. So unfortunately I didn't get it. So that's the end of Chapter 8. We're going to be heading on to one last section where we're supposed to be running down a bunch of stairs and avoiding cops, but because the level design is so great, we can just fall on these little glass platforms and avoid having to climb any stairs whatsoever. We just run by these cops and go in a revolving door. So the last chapter is Chapter 9. There's a really cool skip in this chapter that I love. When you see it, you'll understand why. We're going to go through this level normally. There's a faster way of doing this, but it's really inconsistent, at least in my eyes. So we're going to turn on this little valve right here because we need to open this door by exploding it. So we're going to hide in here, and we can time exiting out of this little hole perfectly by looking at the door. Once the flame hits the door, also RIP headphone users, once we see the flame hitting the door, we can exit. So we're going to avoid this guy with a machine gun. He's not threatening at all. And we're going to come to this little button. Now I'm pressing these buttons normally because with the interacting glitch, you can actually get stuck when you're doing them. And if you get stuck, you have to reload the game. And if we have to reload here, we have to basically do the entire chapter again, which is a huge time loss. So coming up here is the big skip of the game, the elevator skip. This elevator is extremely long because it gets broken. So we're going to avoid having to wait in there by going out of bounds. And I'm going to be quiet for a little bit just so I can make sure I get the trick right. There we go. So we can get out of bounds right here and get on top of this elevator and align ourselves so that we can hit a checkpoint out of bounds right here. I might be too low right here. I think I'm too low. Let's see if I get it. Yeah, I was too low. So what happens there is we time the level loading so that we land in a building, or not a building, we land in a room that has a checkpoint for us to walk in. And once that checkpoint's hit, we just load and reload the game. I got shot at a lot. This is bad. Okay. Try this one more time. The reason I'm slowing it down, you don't actually have to do this trick by slowing down the game. It's just way easier to hit. I might be too far this time. Let's see. A good notification of knowing if you got it. There we go, I got it. A good notification of knowing if you got it is if the vent's in your side of view. So when we load and reload, we're going to be here. And we're going to immediately do another out of bounds trick. We're going to jump on this tree, scale this wall and grab this light and jump out of bounds. And we're going to jump on an invisible wall. This wall is 1 pixel wide, so we can't just run across it. We actually have to jump infinitely on it. And we can just skip this section right here. We call it the sniper skip. It avoids having to deal with all the snipers. And that's that. 2 quick tricks that make Chapter 9 really short. So we're coming up to the end of the game. The last section here is probably what a lot of people remember as the hardest part of the game. We're going to be in a server room where a lot of guards are going to be shooting at us. Mainly one guy with a machine gun that has a bird's eye view of everything. But the game's AI is really bad, so we can manipulate it so that it shoots one of the targets that we have to shoot in order to escape the room. we have to shoot 4 servers in order for a door to open. So we just get the guard to shoot one of those servers.
Their emergency protocol should automatically unlock the doors. I hope. Good luck, Faith.
All right, let's try this. We're gonna run to the left right here. Oops, I stopped accidentally. Hopefully he hits that server, and he did, thank God. And that's bad. Okay, let's cover. There we go. We're gonna disarm him now because this gun's really useful. And we're just gonna continue through the level, shoot these servers down, and just exit. We can actually just clip through that room because there's a little jump we can do that just lets us skip having to do any of that. But yeah, the game is pretty much complete now. We have the final boss to do, which is really not a final boss at all. But we're gonna come here, hit a trigger, and we're gonna quit and reload because it avoids having to wait for this long movie. And time's gonna be when I grab on the helicopter. So this is the final boss. It's very difficult. Make sure you record it and study it. And time. So our sister's gonna be flown out of this helicopter, and wee, bye-bye. But she's superhuman. She just grabbed on that building, and oh, we gotta save her. No, and now the game's over. That building somehow is still standing after that. We save our sister. A very heartwarming moment right here. So yeah, that's Mirror's Edge. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you're interested in picking up the game, you can head over to speedrun.com/me. There's a lot of guides right there. You can check out the leaderboards, a lot of the videos on learning stuff. Great resources on there. You can follow me on Twitter and on Twitch at Coastward. 20 seconds over estimate. A lot of deaths that were unfortunate, but it's okay. I had a good time running it. Hopefully you guys did too. But that's going to be it for me.
All right, thank you, Coastward. That was